If you're celebrating a special occasion or just love fine dining, you're in the right place. Come experience the crown jewel of South Point restaurants, Michael's Gourmet Room.
Welcome.
With over 600 different types of wines and magnificent dishes prepared tableside, you'll revel in the rich classic Vegas decor and the best black tie service in the world. This intimate gourmet room has earned accolades galore. Come to Michael's Gourmet Room for an unforgettable dining experience. Another famous restaurant is the Silverado Steakhouse, where you'll find the charm and service that discerning patrons require. From top quality steaks and chops to fresh seafood and desserts, you'll love the award-winning wine list and menu at Silverado Steakhouse. Steak lovers have even more options with primarily prime rib. Catering to hearty appetites, the menu features a variety of flavorful prime rib cuts, dry aged to ensure tenderness, and then seasoned and slowly roasted. Although prime rib is our specialty, it's not the only thing on the menu. There's something for everyone. And if you're craving a taste of Italy, come experience delicious Italian cuisine and the attentive service at Don Vito's. Our culinary team starts with the freshest ingredients and transforms them into traditional favorites. And don't forget Italian desserts. Don Vito's. Savor the taste of Italy. Finally, if sushi is more your style, join us at the popular Zenshin Asian restaurant and sushi bar, where we're serving up the freshest sashimi, nigiri, and sushi rolls. And beyond the sushi, an exciting contemporary Asian cuisine menu. Plus a variety of specialty drinks, Japanese and domestic beer, wine, and sake. Balance your hunger with Zenshin.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book, South Point Studio.
We don't make stuff up here.
I would only play the Pirates team total going under.
What the hell happened to Minnesota's pitching?
This total has really crashed without plumbing the lineup. I think this number's too high, but they're laying me the 6.
Oh, I know.
Caitlin Clark drives handle on the WNBA.
Never mind all these Mickey Mouse other stations. We are giving you hands-on information.
It's Sports by the Book at the South Point Studio. Here's Jeff Parles and Alex White.
Good morning. Welcome in. It is Sports by the Book. Hi, Sean, over there. I'm Jeff Parles. Happy to be with you this morning. She's Alex White. I said Sean. Sean's one of our tech guys, and he is currently, can see his head over in the corner. So Sean's head may make the show today. But Alex, we got 2 games already going in Major League Baseball. We got 2 coming here at the top of the hour to kick off a Wednesday edition of the show.
And I mean, we've been talking about it all year long. It's been such a good baseball season. It just continues, this race down to who's going to make the playoffs. So excited to break these down. Do want to get into the first 2 games. There is one that I do really like that's about to start here in 10 minutes.
So let's, we'll tell you the 2 games already underway. Pirates have a 1-0 lead already on San Francisco in Pittsburgh, and the Phillies going for a sweep of Baltimore and 0-0. If you bet the Nerfy, you are already home in Philadelphia today with Suarez and Rogers. And
I believe Sean said that South Point took a big bet on the Pirates this morning. So
was it him?
May have been.
He's saying no.
But I do think that was a good angle. I mean, you're betting numbers, not teams, right? And
yeah, plus 35 was the closer on Heaney today against Robbie Ray. All right, let's get to it. Let's start in Detroit first. We'll get the ones that are starting in less than 10 minutes, and then we'll just work our way through like we usually do. Today in Detroit, all will go for Minnesota. Flaherty goes for Detroit. Jack Flaherty, again, we've talked about it, home road splits. Much better at Comerica than he's been away from it, but Twins won last night, so there's a rubber match minus 210 is a big price on Flaherty with a total of 9 here, Alex.
It really is. But, I mean, he has been really good, especially his last 5. And even on the road, he did very good in Philly. Held them to 1 earned run, 2 hits in 6 innings pitched. So I think he's really found himself. I wouldn't even touch this one. It is a big price, but it would be Tigers or pass. So I'm going to pass on that big price.
Nothing here. Can't do much of anything here with the Tigers, who leads down to 7 in the American League Central. And again, as you see, it is tightening in that American League wild card race. Texas with a chance to sweep out the Yankees and take over that final wild card. Again, back-to-back bullpen blow-ups by the Yankees. Devin Williams has allowed more runs this year than he has in the previous 3 combined.
Wow.
So, it's been a rough go for the big offseason acquisition for the Yankees. And they sent Jake Bird to AAA Scranton as well. He just not go well for the Yankees. Only 6 games over 500 at the moment. We'll get to them a little bit later. All right, go to the other New York team. The Mets are also floundering right now, but not as egregiously as the Yankees. But the Guardians looking for a 3-game sweep in New York. Back-to-back 1-run victories for Cleveland, Williams, and Peterson. Peterson is the only Met pitcher to pitch into, this is a ridiculous one, the only Met starter to pitch into the 7th inning since June 21st.
Wow.
So, again, it's been length from the Mets starters has been an issue. Mets have fallen in to the final wild card slot on virtue of San Diego leading the head-to-head at the moment. And they're 2.5 games behind Philly, which is the most they've been since early June. So, again, Mets not playing well after that 7-game win streak. But Peterson's a big favorite today at minus 180, Alex.
And I think he should be. I really do. I think this is a Mets spot. I mean, add in a little bit to avoid the sweep here. I like David Peterson. I think he can help stop this. 155 here at the South Point for the first 5. I love that angle, and I think that's the best way to play this. But I do believe this price is correct. I mean, even I think $2 is fair for the Mets here at home with David Peterson going. Now, I will say Gavin Williams has started to find himself as well and is pitching very good as of late. So it's not going to be easy, but I do think the Mets can have a lead here after 5. So minus 155. I think that's the best bet going here today. I don't really trust the Guardians too much against lefties either. So that angle helps as well.
By the way, if you go to the American League side of things, Cleveland's only a game and a half behind the Yankees right now in the American League wildcard chase. Again, it's the Yankees have been so bad over now. It's really about a 2-month stretch that they have that this has turned into a whole different ballgame. Forget winning the American League. It's a question of if you're going to even make the playoffs at this point, and it just feels like everything is going wrong for them. And you see it. Even Kansas City, 4 games back, they bought at the deadline, still somewhat with a pulse in that American League wildcard chase.
And yesterday, I mean, Will Warren wasn't fantastic, but did enough and found ways to get out of innings. I mean, the Rangers' leadoff guys were on base 3 out of the 5 first innings, and they could not score to help Eovaldi. And then Aaron Boone took him out in the 6th, and then the Rangers found a way to win. But yeah, so just a lot has gone wrong for them, definitely, where they've had their chances.
Yeah, Eovaldi was brilliant last night. The 1 hit over 8 innings before Maton finished it off for Texas. Don't worry, we'll get to the Yankee and Ranger game in a few moments. But Alex likes the Mets in the first 5 with David Peterson. So get that now because that game starts in less than 5 minutes. So Mets first 5, the bet for Alex in this one.
And I mean, tread lightly as always, because yesterday, pretty good day, 3-2 and a push. And my 2 losses, if I would have went full game, well, the push and 1 loss, if I would have went full game, would have worked out a little bit better. So just depending on how you're playing things, I would just say stay consistent, right? And
whether first 5 or full game or
right, because I got there with the Diamondbacks first 5, so that would have been a lost full game. So kind of evens itself out, but.
Let's go to Chicago next, Alex. More day baseball at Wrigley Field. The Cubbies and the Reds, and the Reds have taken the first 2 in this series. And again, this is I'm not going to say danger zone for the Cubs in the National League Central because the 5-game series at Wrigley, as long as they're within 4, you take 3 out of 4, you're back within. Or excuse me, you take 4 out of 5, you're back within 1. You take 3 out of 5, you're still within a series length, but. It's up to 4 games now in the National League Central with the Cubs behind the Brewers, who the Brewers just keep on winning. The Reds also within 3 of the Mets in the National League wild card standings. So Cincinnati not out of things as well. Abbott and Horton, so a little bit of a pitching advantage for the Reds. Small, but again, Cubs probably should still be the small favorite at -130 like they are. A total of 7.5 this afternoon at Wrigley because, Alex White, the wind is blowing in from right field.
That's what I like to hear, too, because first 5 is 4, and I really like that bet here, staying under that 4. But with both of these pitchers going, you're right, I do really like the lefty Andrew Abbott, and I think he's been awesome for the Reds. But on the other side, we got to talk about Cade Horton, especially his last 5 starts. 4 of them were scoreless. Can he keep that going? I don't think so. But while he's pitching really good right now and at least going deep 5 innings here, I think you got to take advantage. So under 4, -120. I think that's a great price there between these two. I will say we got to start taking the Reds seriously, though. I mean, their pitching staff is top tier. I mean, they had Littell, and then now Andrew Abbott. So they really do have some good pitchers in that rotation if they can keep this going with their bats to keep them in games. But right there for that wild card, Cincinnati knocking on the door.
Yeah, look, and the Reds get 4 in Pittsburgh over the weekend, an opportunity there. But then it gets next week is a big week for the Reds. Philadelphia comes calling, and Milwaukee, and they go. They welcome Milwaukee. So it's 2 huge home series next week for Cincinnati. If they're going to stay in it, they got to avoid disaster against 2 first-place teams at the current moment in the National League. Again, the Brewers they've extended it out. Forget just the Cubs. They've extended it out on everyone. They're 4 in the loss column in front of everybody right now in the National League. And look, we could have an NL playoffs through Milwaukee, as shocking as that would have been 2 months ago or even a month ago. Right now, it is going through AmFam Field in Milwaukee, Wisconsin at the moment. All right, let's go to the Dodgers next. Dodgers and Cardinals, final game of that series, day baseball at Dodger Stadium. Dodgers put up a 12 spot last night in a 12-6 win. You know, it's just as simple as going against Miles Michaelis at this point is working as well as anything right now, Alex. Or betting the over in Michaelis' starts, which you didn't even have to sweat that.
Right.
With 18 total runs last night. Liberatore for St. Louis and Shohei Ohtani will start for the Dodgers. Again, there was a little bit of concern. Of course, he left his last start. We thought, oh no, could it be re-aggravation of the elbow? Now it's just cramps. Just a hot night in Cincinnati. Not hydrated properly enough. And Ohtani is fine to make his next scheduled start, which is right here. And he's a big favorite today at -210.
My biggest question mark is how long is he going to go? I mean, that was the start that we were expecting to see him go at least 4 innings, maybe try and push it to 5, but it was just 3 again, which we've seen 3 in a row now for Ohtani. So with that being said, on the other side, Liberatore's kind of the same way. I mean, we really just seen him go 4. The last time we saw him go 5 was against Chicago. Decent enough, but I mean, I do think that number is correct for the Dodgers. Not interested in laying a big price like that right now, even though they look like they figured some things out offensively yesterday against Michaelis. So we'll see if they can do it again here today. But nothing for me in this one.
I'm going to do nothing. A 9.5 feels steep in this one. Now, the question, as you mentioned, is Ohtani capable of going more than 3 innings, which has not shown that ability yet. And a lot of the Dodger bullpen, which if there's a weakness on the Dodgers, it is that bullpen. So that's why you see a 9.5. And it is also warm. It's a day game in LA here today. All right, let's go to Atlanta. Braves and Brewers. Brewers just taking advantage of the bottom of the National League East this last week. A little bit more difficult here today because they'll see Spencer Strider on the bump for Atlanta, who, again, weird for Strider because he was supposed to pitch that Speedway Classic on Saturday night and then ended up not starting because of the rain delay and then didn't pitch on Sunday. Just whole weird thing with Strider. So that's why he's here on Wednesday for Atlanta. He's a -130 favorite against Jose Quintana, who's +115 on the takeback, total of 8. I mean, at this rate, look, I know the Brewers aren't going to win every day, even though it feels like they are right now, but even with the pitching advantage on the Atlanta side, don't you kind of have to at least look at the Brewers at a plus price? And even if you bet it, maybe if you don't love it, just bet it small here today, Alex?
I don't hate it. I mean, I do think with Strider going, it should be about minus 130, but I mean, it's really hard to say no to that, like you said. And the other thing, I'm glad you brought up that weird thing
with Strider
on Saturday, because now the Braves have not gotten a day off in quite some time. If you look up their schedule, they were supposed to get Sunday off. So, I mean, that could be part of this. They're just getting killed by the Brewers here. But Quintana's been better than I think we give him credit for. He kind of just has the reputation, but really just a couple bad starts in his last 6 where he gave up 4 runs, and he went 6 innings against the Dodgers, gave up 4 earned runs on 4 hits. That's not terrible. And then Colorado got to him, went 5 2/3. So he can go at least 5. I think he can keep him in this for sure, especially because we haven't fully seen the Spencer Strider we're used to yet this year. So while I do think that's priced right, I really can't fault you for taking plus 115 for the Brewers.
Look, and Ryan knows this as well because Quintana, of course, spent the bulk of his career on both sides of the city of Chicago and with the White Sox and the Cubs. Quintana's been a good starting pitcher his whole career. It just is what he is, elite innings. He's not going to get bombarded a lot, but it's never going to look pretty. It's just the way he pitches. But again, this is more just a take on a scorching hot team when I'm getting a plus price, even though I don't love the pitching matchup here today with Strider on the other side.
But, I mean, you definitely have the offensive advantage, too.
That I do know.
So.
Yeah, no, of course, no Acuna, no Riley for Atlanta, both guys on the IL. It might be a while before we see Acuna again as well. If I'm the Braves, you're going nowhere this year. Be as cautious as humanly possible with your best asset the rest of the year. All right, let's go to a pitching matchup that would have been something else probably about 4 or 5 years ago in Arizona tonight. It's Nestor Cortes making his Padres debut. Talk about a guy I completely forgot about being around. Of course, was traded at the deadline from Milwaukee to San Diego. But here he is making his Padre debut against Anthony DeSclafani, who makes his 3rd start of the year for Arizona. Minus 145 on San Diego, plus 30 on the D-backs, 9.5 at Chase Field tonight, Alex.
I mean, really, the only tempting bet in this matchup here is the over, right? Getting even money going over 9.5 with both of these pitchers going here today. Don't really know what to expect from Nestor Cortes, but on the other side with DeSclafani, I do think the Padres can get to him. We saw some runs being scored even late in the game yesterday. So that's a lean right now over between these two.
I'll just say this. This is an ugly pitching matchup for me because Cortes has barely been utilized this year because of injury. He had the odd injury at the beginning of the year as well. And again, I know this was almost a calendar year ago, but I just wonder for Cortes in the limited action this year until he gets in a truly huge spot, how much does that grand slam to Freeman in the World Series linger in his head? How long does that happen? And DeSclafani is the definition of below average at this point. He was always like a solid number 4, number 3 starter, never more than that. And now at the back end of his career, he's not more than a really just a substitute starter, which is what he is. He's a Merrill Kelly spot. That's where he is in Arizona. So I would follow you, if anything. That would be the only thing I look at, even with the concerns on the San Diego offense, as there always are right now. You
brought up the Freeman, but what about the start of this year? Wasn't he facing the Yankees?
Well, and he got crushed right away. Yeah, they hit the 3 homers.
Torpedo bats.
They hit him the 3. Yeah, you remember that when we thought the torpedo bats are going to be the next cork bat, and it ended up being nothing. Yeah, the 3 homers in the first inning right away.
Yep.
Yeah, boy, that series will look a little different right now. A Yankee Brewer series, right, Alex?
But it feels like so long ago.
Yeah, it might as well have been 7 years ago at this rate, right? All right, let's, speaking of the Yankees, so we've already talked about the Yankees a bunch. It is a sinking ship in the Bronx at the current moment. Even with getting Aaron Judge back last night, they get 2 hit. Yeah. 1 hit against Evaldi over 8, and then 1 against Maton, and that was that. And the Rangers have a chance to sweep. And more importantly here, the Rangers with a win today will hop the New York Yankees in the American League wild card standings and would put the Yankees on the outside looking in entering tomorrow's action. As crazy as that would have sounded even just a week ago, it has been a disaster for this road trip where the Yankees again, had Friday night against the Marlins, I think is the worst loss any team. Well, I'm not counting Colorado and Pittsburgh because those two teams are not competitive. The Yankees lost to Florida on Friday night, or Miami, was as bad of a loss as anyone's had all year. And I would argue it's the worst loss that anyone's had all year. And you've gone to Texas now, and the Yankee bullpen's collapsed again. Devin Williams, as we mentioned, is just in the midst of a misery right now. And they've lost 5 in a row. Looked like they'd solved things in that series against Tampa. And now here they are with a loss today. They're on the outside looking in. Rodon's a -130 favorite against Leiter, and a total of 8 in Arlington this afternoon.
You know why I'm, rooting for the Rangers here to make their push, get into the playoffs, cash that ticket, but I don't think they're going to jump the Yankees today. I think they have the right guy on the mound in Carlos Rodon to stop this and avoid the sweep here against Texas. I do like that side. I think it's a Yankees spot. I like first 5 better, kind of like with the Mets, -135. I think that's a good price. Now, I will just say Jack Leiter has been very good as well for the Rangers, but I just think Carlos Rodon is just a step ahead of him still.
Sure, yeah.
That's the way I would play it, is Yankees first 5.
Right now, if you're wanting Yankees first 5 -35, you want to lay a half a run for plus 05?
I mean, maybe split up.
Split up a little bit?
Yeah.
Potentially for the first 5. Again, I just want to avoid the Yankee bullpen right now. And it's so odd to see all those names in that bullpen too. Bednar, Duvall, Weaver, Williams, and they stink right now. It is crazy to see what has happened with that bullpen. And again, Jake Bird, who was a piece they traded for at the deadline, they already sent down to AAA. It's just nothing going right in the Bronx right now for the Yankees. All right.
No, but I do think, like we mentioned, Eovaldi was fantastic yesterday. And
yes,
I mean, he struck out Judge at least 2 times. I don't know what his third at bat was, but
we've talked about Eovaldi all year, Alex.
Yeah,
we have loved betting on Eovaldi all season long.
Well, and now DeGrom is maybe facing a little bit of fatigue because we've seen him, give up some home runs here as of late. So Eovaldi may step into that number 1 role, but I think Aaron Judge can get going. Just the first game back. We'll see what he can do today to help this Yankees team that needs some help desperately.
Let's go to Anaheim next. Rays and Angels, final game of the series at the Big A. Boz and Anderson today. Boz is a -115 favorite. This has been a weird jumper here at the South Point. Opened -105, then got bet up to -130, now back down to -115, and a total of 9 this afternoon at Anaheim, Alex.
This game is impossible. Lean to the home team, getting a plus price here. I think that's actually a pretty good number on Tyler Anderson. I don't trust the Rays going up against a lefty here, even though Shane Baz is supposed to be better. We really haven't seen that from him. In 2 of his last 3 starts, he's given up 5, and then to the White Sox, he gave up 8 in 4 innings. So I don't trust him. We know this Angels lineup can put up some runs. It's just the last 7 days, both of these offenses have been dreadful. So that 9, I mean, you're getting the 9 because of the pitchers going, but I don't really trust either offense. So I guess a lean to the Angels at that even price here at home.
Next up, we go to Boston. Red Sox and Royals tonight at the Fens. Red Sox just continue to roll. Another win, multiple run win last night, 6-2. So Crochet got there easily as a big favorite. They go for the sweep this evening. They're going to throw Dustin May, making his Red Sox debut, who came over at the deadline. And one of those moves is like, what's going on here? Why are the Dodgers giving up on May, even though he's had a reasonable year this year? But here you go, -135 and a total of 8.5 tonight on Dustin May here at Fenway.
This is tough. If I didn't add in the win streak of the Red Sox, I would be all over this +110 with Kansas City and Michael Wacha. Now, Michael Wacha isn't fantastic, but I do think he's better than Dustin May, and I really like what I've seen from him in his last 3 starts. So he went 6 innings against Miami, 1 earned run, just 3 hits, 5 1/3 against Cleveland, 1 earned run, 3 hits, and then 8 against Toronto, 1 earned run and 3 hits. really just a few walks in those starts and 5 strikeouts each of the last 2 outings. So I do think that the Royals have the pitching advantage. I don't really trust Dustin May. Kind of get why the Dodgers traded him. And in his last 3 starts, he gave up 7. He went scoreless against the Twins, but that is the Twins. And then he gave up 4 to Boston. So lean to the Royals. It's just tough with that win streak, kind of like the Brewers. Kind of tough to go against those teams right now.
Oh, 100%. And look, for Boston, the AL East is in grasp all of a sudden. It's funny, of course, seeing the Giants going one way with Devers and now the Red Sox going the other. Hey, maybe my handicap was right. At the beginning of the year, I picked the Red Sox to win the American League, and not the path I expected. But again, they're alive. They're the number 1 wild card in the AL. They're 3 games behind Toronto, and they're live. Again, I don't know if they have enough pitching to get through a postseason, but again, if you get out of the wild card series, you just have to be there. As has been proven in this new format, you see the AL standings on your screen. The Blue Jays right now, the American League playoffs, would go through the Rogers Center with Detroit as the 2 seed and Houston is the 3. Houston's lead is 3 on Seattle. Toronto's lead is 3 on Boston. And then, again, Detroit's lead is down to 7 on Cleveland. Again, I still don't expect anything crazy to happen there, but that is the lowest that has been in the better portion of 2 months now with a 7-game lead for Detroit over the Guardians. All right, let's go to, speaking of Seattle, let's go back out there. Mariners and White Sox, George Kirby Day in T-Mobile Park. Eugenio Suarez hit a home run in an 8-3 win last night for the M's. Minus 250 on Seattle, 7.5 the total, plus 210 on the take back on the White Sox, Alex.
So a lot of home runs yesterday. I saw Naylor hit one too. So both their guys that they picked up. And I believe Cal Raleigh did.
Oh, no, Raleigh did not homer last night, but Canzone homered was the third day. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All 3 guys from the D-backs, Ryan said. That's incredible. I mean, they are hitting well. I think George Kirby's been much better as of late. There's still a couple starts that make me a little bit concerned here, but it is the White Sox on the other side. It's just a really big price to jump in here on the Mariners. Now, Jonathan Cannon kind of fallen apart as of late. I mean, he's been giving up a lot to these good teams. He's faced really good teams in Tampa Bay. Well, Tampa Bay decent enough, but gave up 5 in 4 1/3 and then gave up 6 on 7 hits to the Phillies. So, I mean, maybe it's a Mariners team total. I didn't even check that one. I wasn't thinking of going that way with them at home. We do usually like them better on the road, but that might be the only way to play it because that price is just too big, minus 250. And then you don't want to do the run line with them at home. So, yeah, we'll have to check out team total. It's a possibility there.
You know, I'll just say this with Seattle. And again, I just go back to what I talked about with you last week, Alex, on just the strength at the top of the American League. Seattle has shown, even in this short sample size with the new look roster, they're going to be a formidable out in the postseason. It's going to be very difficult against those starting pitchers if they get there, if they're right, to beat them in a best of 5, a best of 7. Now, look, it's a baseball playoffs. Anything can happen, and those pitchers could have bad outings, and then all of a sudden it's a whole different ball of wax. But again, if Seattle can find a way to catch Houston, that also makes things super intriguing. In the American League. There you go, the standings entering today. Again, Yankees trying to hold off Texas, needing a win to stay in front of them entering today's action. All right, let's go to Colorado next. And, you know, sometimes just keeping it simple works, and betting a total that you think is too low at Coors Field is usually a good recipe to win. And that's what we got yesterday. Relatively easy in the end on the total with the Blue Jays and the Rockies. Back-to-back days now, 10-4 yesterday. That's better than 11.5, so we're good there. And we're in 11.5 again here in the afternoon in Denver. Gosman and Freeland. 11.5 is the total here, Alex. And the weather today in Colorado, I'm just going back to the well. It's going to be almost 100 degrees, which is almost unheard of in that region of the country, with the wind blowing out to right. This is ridiculous hitting conditions here today.
And the other thing is I don't trust Kevin Gosman at all for the Blue Jays. So I actually think that Colorado can help contribute to this over here today, where the last couple days I was a little bit more concerned with Barrios and Lauer. How do you say that?
Oh, Eric Lauer. Yeah,
Thank
Eric
you.
Lauer, yeah.
So I was more concerned with those pitchers going here today, but with Freeland and Gausman, I'm with you. I think over is the best way to play this game. I think they can get those runs in again. You were pretty fortunate, ninth inning.
Yeah, we still got
3
there.
runs, but it did get there. So.
Oh, I needed 1 run
That's
after
right.
6. So a game of Coors, we shouldn't have 6 scoreless half innings, realistically speaking. So, yeah, got fortunate, but was well ahead until the 9th inning. So, but in the end, the Blue Jays did win at 10-4. By the way, again, Blue Jays just doing what they need to do. You got to win these games in Colorado because after that, the next 9-game stretch at LA against the Dodgers, Cubs go to Toronto, and the Rangers go to Toronto. So 9 games against high-end teams coming up for the Jays. Just handle your business against the worst team in baseball, and they are doing that to their credit so far in Denver.
That's going to get real interesting then.
Oh, hey, look.
For that AL East.
Good games. Good games. Got a lot of good games to talk about over the next few weeks. All right, day baseball in Miami next. Marlins taking on the Houston Astros here today. Astros going for the sweep. So the Marlins just, again, kind of coming back to earth after putting it on the Yankees over the weekend. And I think for the 3rd consecutive game, we got a misprice here, Alex. Now, this is a slight pitching advantage to Junk over Eric Getty today for the Marlins. But this, again, goes back to what we were talking about. You and Ryan talked about on Monday, and then what we talked about yesterday, where I don't know if this is undervaluing Houston or overrating Miami or both.
Right.
That has been the case in this series where you've gotten some really good prices on the Houston Astros the last 2 days, and I think this should be again either -110, -110, or -105, or here at the South Point maybe -110, -105. But you give me even money plus money with Houston, I'm in on it here again to complete the sweep.
I really can't blame you. I just am a little concerned since we haven't seen Eric Getty since April.
Been a while,
5th.
yeah.
So coming off that injury, I don't know what to expect from him. Maybe just playing that total because, I am impressed with the Astros, and we should have been on them the last 2 days. We even said -105. Weren't getting that plus price, but yesterday still a really good price, 7-3. So they've put up 15 in the last 2 days, and the lineup was always the issue with Houston, right? We've known that their pitching rotation has been one of the best for quite some time now, too. So, yeah, if they can keep that going, I'd like to see one start from Eric Getty before I jump in with anything else.
Yeah, and it can't really fault you there. And again, Eric Getty it's based off his numbers was super unlucky in his early because high ERA, but not a lot of base runners. So again, we'll see.
Yeah, you're right. Really.
Yeah. No, he got pretty unlucky in those first few outings. So we'll see how it plays out here today with the Stros. All right, next up, we go to Washington. Final game on the board. The A's and the Nats. Mackenzie Gore has just fallen off the map over the last few months. It was a good day for Shane Langoliers, by the way, who had 3 homers out of the leadoff spot for the A's. But another monster run game in Washington, 23 runs between the two in a 16-7 athletic victory. You see the A's is a -135 favorite with Jeffrey Springs on the road today, I should say. Cavelli goes for Washington at +120 and a total of 8.5 in the nation's capital.
Can I interest you in a team total 4.5 for the Athletics here?
I think you can interest me in anything that has to do with over in this game, Alex. It just, again, Cavelli, who was a first-round pick in the 2020 season, has only thrown this year 1 outing and got walloped. 4 1/3 innings, 7 earned, and that's good for an ERA over 14, which is not a good sign, Alex.
Well, and he didn't even start in that game, right? This is his first start since 2022. So I think the Athletics, when they're hot, you got to jump in. It's a young lineup, and they can definitely hit, and I think they'll keep it going here today. So 4.5, I think that's a good number. Instead of worrying about Jeffrey Springs and what the Nationals do offensively. Even though I think Jeffrey Springs has been pretty good, I think the Athletics is the right side. If you would rather just lay that minus 135, I can't fault you there either.
Again, the A's are much better. The Nats have just completely went from being a pretty competitive bottom division team to completely non-competitive since they fired Davey Martinez. And really, it's also coincided with James Wood just completely stopped hitting since the All-Star break. I know people will point to the home run derby, but he was barely in the home run derby.
Yeah,
it was hello
true.
and goodbye. But yeah, it's been rough for Washington. So see how it plays out here tonight in the nation's capital. All right, we're going to take a quick break. By the way, thank you to Brian, who's in the chat for the first time. Big fan of Shane Boz and the Rays today. So thank you for joining us for the first time here on Sports by the Book. Trivia questions already been answered. So we'll tell you who got it right first. And we'll get Alex's whiteboard here on a Wednesday morning here on Sports by the Book here at the South Point studio. Live as always from the South Point Hotel and Casino here in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Football contest sign-up season is here, and you don't want to miss out on the action. With millions of dollars on the line each and every week in the world's biggest football contest, there's only one proxy to trust, footballcontest.com. Maddie and Tony have set the gold standard for football contest proxy services with 20 years of experience and over $13 million in winnings for their clients. All you have to do is get to Vegas between now and the start of football season to sign up in person, and they do the rest, making sure your picks are entered every week. Whether you want to play in the Circa Sports Million, Circa Survivor, Super Contest Gold, or the new Super Contest College Contest, Maddie and Tony have you covered. Their new website has everything you need to know about these football contests and more, including how you can reserve the best proxy in the business. Experience matters, so go with the pros at footballcontest.com, the gold standard proxy service.
Sports by the Book.
Sports by the Book.
Sports by the Book. Sports by the Book, South Point Studio.
We don't make stuff up here.
I would only play the Pirates team total going under.
What the hell happened to Minnesota's pitching?
This total is really crashed without plumbing the lineup. I think this number's too high, but they're laying me the 6.
Oh, I know.
Caitlin Clark drives handle on the WNBA.
Never mind all these Mickey Mouse other stations. We are giving you hands-on information.
Welcome back in Sports by the Book, South Point Studio. Jeff Parles, Alex White. All right. We'll have the whiteboard in a moment, which there may have been an omen potentially. You might just have to, you know what? I'm gonna stall here. You can wipe the whole board and do it all over in the same color if you want, Alex.
Good idea.
I'm gonna stall here for you. So stalling. No, Alex will have plenty of time to get the rest of it up. So here we go. Trivia question today on this date. Oh my goodness. On this date in 1890, Alex, it predates all of us. Predates all of us by a long time. Hall of Famer, some guy named Cy Young. I think we've all heard of him. Made his major league debut pitching a complete game, shocker, for the Cleveland Spiders at the age of 23. And Vince actually gave you a multiple choice question today. How about that? Which of the following MLB records is not still held by Cy Young? Was it A, career wins, B, career shutouts, C, innings pitched, or D, complete games? And the correct answer, of course, is shutouts. It's B. Because Walter Johnson, who of course is also one of the all-time greats, beat him out. Actually, Cy Young, as you see on your screen, great work there, Ryan, is fourth. Grover Alexander and Christy Mathewson actually both ahead of Cy Young in the shutouts. Boy, I couldn't even imagine most guys getting 10 career shutouts at this point. How about 110 for Walter Johnson right now for his career? Of course, pitching for the old Washington Senators back in the day for our big guy Walter Johnson. So there you go. JR yet again. JR, I think, is controlling the month of August so far.
I think so,
trying
too.
to reinsert dominance after Nick won the last 2 months in the trivia. By the way, also, Vince put up a poll today as well. Who will lead the majors in homers by the end of the season? 40% going with Kyle Schwarber.
Wow.
Going with Kyle Schwarber. So
I don't know. You're getting a plus price on Ohtani right now.
So right now, Cal Raleigh leads the majors at 42. Then it's Schwarber at 40. Ohtani at 38. Judge and Suarez at 37. And then after that, who cares? No one else is more than 30. No one else. It's a 5-horse race.
I mean, Judge and Ohtani, right? If you're getting
It's just a
plus
matter of
price.
Judge being healthy, right?
Yeah.
I by the way, if I were betting that market right now, I would take a plus price on Ohtani. That would be the way I would go, even though in the end, I think Kyle Schwarber is probably going to end up winning, and that might end up meaning Schwarber wins the NL MVP too, as we talked about a little bit yesterday. All right.
Some big numbers people have. They're
New color
very
for the
happy.
whiteboard now. We
Yep.
got we got a functional marker now, so that's always a good sign. So Alex, whenever you are ready, you can.
That's a lot of bets I've
take
been
the floor.
giving out then to
So,
use
well,
up
you
this whole
look
black
yesterday.
market.
Yesterday, you your clipboard's not over here today. So,
No.
I mean, your clipboard legitimately took up basically the whole sheet of paper with the first 2 days of the week, which is a lot more room than usual.
Yes. Yes. But I mean, it worked out. And you know what? We were talking about it off air, but it's why we're more volume, especially you when it comes to football and college basketball, and
Yeah.
one more like 1 unit size for all of them the same, because I thought my two best bets were definitely going to be Crochet, first 5, and White Sox Mariners. I thought that was way too high, and those were my two losers. So that's my volume. But today I'm keeping it short and sweet. Here are my best bets. I do trust both pitchers going for the Reds and the Cubs. Reds lead 2-0 in this series. Abbott and Cade Horton has been fantastic, so under 4 in the first 5 for that one. And then I'm going to take two teams that are red hot offensively, with the Mariners going up against Jonathan Cannon, over 4.5, and the Athletics keep it going, over 4.5 there against the Nationals. Leans, if you want to take the Brewers, small on the plus money there, and then over in Colorado, 11.5 there. Keep the Blue Jays and the Rockies scoring there.
There you go. A lot of 1 first 5, 2 team totals for Alex here today on Wednesday, the 6th of August. My brain almost reversed that, and I was like, it's not September yet. We're not in September. We're not there yet. We're 25 days away, almost there, but not quite yet to September. But hey, we got a lot of fun coming your way in football season. Of course, our NFL team previews are already underway. The ones that are available on our Sports by the Book page. Mr. McCormick, who's up today in the NFL? Oh, it is the Bears. Okay, we jumped the gun on that yesterday, but it is the Bears here today. Okay, that's fine. You're excited. It's okay. You're excited, but all those are available. It will be Chicago today. You and I have a few more to record here today. Going to be almost fully recorded soon on that. I know we'll be looking in the NFC North later today. There might be some boos from behind the curtain here today during one of these previews. So be on the lookout for all those. And make sure you're following us across social media as well. All right, Alex, good luck. Let's go 3-0 here today on the best bets. Thank you to everyone who's watching us here today. Shout out to the crew as well. Sean, Ryan, Jerry, and Vince and Drew Dog, as always, here at the studio. We're live as always, Monday through Friday here at the South Point Hotel and Casino here in Las Vegas. She's Alex White. I'm Jeff Parles. I'll see you next time. Sports by the Book, South Point Studio.